The film begins in the rural Norwegian town of Ota, where a doctor named Camilla is examining an old woman in the hospital. It turns out that their hospital is in a remote location and will soon be closed. Eventually, Camilla's friend Ole, a police officer, comes to visit her. All of a sudden, a girl named Janek reveals that her friends have been killed by a mountain man and reveals where their bodies are. Senior police officer Inar then speaks to the Dr. Herman and asks him if the woman is mentally disturbed or not. The officers then decided to go to the location she specified. When the police arrive at the scene, they go to a place covered in snow and witness a horrifying scene. They discovered several corpses, including Psycho Mountain Man's. Back at the hospital, a young patient named Daniel visits Janik's room. Inar and Ole decides to take the body to the hospital for a detailed examination. During this time, Inar closely examines the killer's body. The shocking fact is that he had the same birthmark around his eyes as the Janik. After a short time, Janik becomes very emotional on seeing the bodies of her friends and begins to cry. However, seeing the body of her killer made her feel furious. The two other police officers, Kim and Johanna, arrive at a hotel to investigate the crime scene and were busy doing that. After searching for a while, police officer is horrified to discover several dead bodies that appear back at the morgue. As Odhill is trying to undress the mountain man, he suddenly starts moving. Even though the man is a cold-blooded murderer, they still decides to resurrect him as such. Soon Yannick hears the commotion and comes to see what's going on. As soon as she opens her eyes, she sees the mountain's man in front of her. Dr. Herman and Camilla are surprised when the lights go out all of a sudden. Dr. Herman then goes to the generator room while Camilla decides to check on the patients. The man was a district doctor named Halder, so Inard contacts him and they agree to meet back at the hospital. Janik suddenly awakens and tries to get up, but realizes that Camilla is walking through the dark hallway when the lights are turned off, and she notices that Odhill's body has been mutilated and is in front of her. He then turns around to find the same mountain man in front of her. Meanwhile, panicked Camilla goes to the reception to make a call. She then realizes that a killer is approaching her and quickly hides behind the reception desk. At the hospital, Janik continues to try to free herself when her son Daniel enters the room. However, while leaving the room, Camilla insists that she cannot leave without Herman. Janik later goes looking for her but finds her closet empty. This reveals that their location, but Janik arrives just in time and pushes the company car. Fortunately, police arrive just in time and Janik tells them that murderer is locked up in the morgue, but he doesn't want to take any more risks. Decides to destroy the miner himself. The police then prepare to raid the hospital, including Ole. Camilla advises him not to go, but he insists to go. The police soon arrive at the morgue, but are surprised to find no one is there. The miner take him to a room where Inar finds Kim already dead inside. This led Janik to explain that the miner had killed all the police officers. Reluctantly, John and the girls decide to get into the car. But before they can get off, a miner appears and kills John in one fell swoop. The killer begins drilling holes in the car with a metal rod, and Janik tries to push Camilla and take policeman's gun. But the killer breaks the window and takes Camilla outside. When Miner was about to kill Camilla, Ole shot him down dead. Meanwhile, Janik retrieves a gun from his car and tries to shoot the killer. An angry Janik notices her bloody footprints and realizes that he is still moving. She decides to get on the snowmobile and drive to the hotel. When he arrives at the hotel, and she looks around everywhere but does not see Miner anywhere. Camilla believes that Snowman is finally dead, but Janik doesn't want to take any chances, so he kills him shot dead.